Hi everyone, hope we're doing alright. Today I'm going to crochet a doily for my grandma because it's her birthday coming up. And whilst I feel like there was a few things that kind of pushed me towards not only like the art world but specifically crochet, I feel like she was the main reason because growing up she did a lot of knitting and she's made me quite a few things. She's made me this patchwork knitted blanket and she also made me this really cute like intarsia colour change cardigan when I was younger. I remember she got a few pattern booklets and let me look through them and pick out my favourite cardigan that she would make me. And obviously I didn't know it, but I definitely picked the hardest one in the booklet for her to do, but she is such a talented artist. She also does cross stitch and she has some beautiful pieces. Actually, I do have a piece with me. She made this for me and my boyfriend. As a thank you, I definitely want to crochet her something nice for her birthday, so I have a bunch of vintage pattern booklets and I'm gonna search for a cute doily or something. It's Tuesday today and I have until Sunday to finish her present. So that's a total of 5 days crocheting. Here are the pattern booklets that I'm gonna look through. When I did my video about making decor for my flat, I did do a few patterns from these, so obviously I won't be doing those patterns, but I'm just gonna spend some time looking through these patterns and kind of finding something that I wanna make, and then depending on what I find, I'll pick out yarn to go with it. And I will update you guys once I have a project to start. I found a few that I like. I actually noticed two things with these pattern booklets that I've never noticed before. So number one, if you remember a few weeks back, I did that video on crocheting some decor for my flat and I made this doily, and obviously I made it oversized so it was kind of just like a table centerpiece. And what I didn't realize is I have a lot of pattern booklets that have similar designs to this. Like this whole booklet is just Wee-ear inspired designs. And I did have a moment of thinking about kind of making a second version of this for my grandma, but I do have a feeling that because I've made this pretty recently, I would get quite sick of that. Especially like this one. This one is really beautiful, but I have a feeling because there's so many rows, it's gonna drive me crazy. But also I think that I should try something new because obviously this is the first doily that I ever made, so I shouldn't get too kind of wound up in Wee-ear doilies. That's kind of like a specific place to stay. So I have a feeling that I'm either gonna do this design, which is kind of like a pineapple design, or we have this one, which I actually think my grandma will really like. It has this really cute lace trimming, which to me kind of looks like butterflies, but I don't know whether I'm just kind of seeing that. There are also these smaller designs for coasters, which I think would be really cute as kind of like a set, so maybe I could kind of get around to doing that. The first realization was about the Wee-ear thing, that I can kind of spend some time in the future making a few things to match this. But the bigger epiphany that I had was I have this charity shop that's around a 10-minute walk away. They always stock secondhand yarn. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the time the yarn that they have is a little bit naff, so I'll just go in and look if they have anything new. And there has been this vintage mercerized cotton that's been sat there for quite some time and it's in very good condition. It's still in the box and I'm pretty sure it's not used, but they priced it so high. I'm pretty sure it was like around 200 grams for £18, which to me is crazy for secondhand yarn, especially for mercerized cotton. I'm pretty sure I pay that amount for around 400 grams. And even then, I'm pretty sure I pay less. I kind of haven't thought too much about it, but I was looking through these patterns and I've quickly realized that that is the exact yarn that is called for in all of these patterns. And I do need to double check that I'm kind of not getting stuff confused, but I'm pretty sure the brand of yarn is the same brand as a lot of these booklets. I remember this Coats Mercer cotton design logo on it. This is the thing. I now think that I should go and buy it, but I am kind of hesitant to do so. £18 is a lot for yarn. What I've decided to do is look how much the yarn is selling for online, and if it's kind of reasonable, I actually might have to go out and get it. But I definitely don't need this yarn, but I did kind of click that that would be a good thing to buy for this video. And it would mean that I had some nice vintage mercerized cotton just in my stash. So I'm gonna have a look at that now. Right, okay, that did not take long. They sell for quite a lot online. This is where I kind of don't know whether to use self-control because like I don't actually need the yarn. I don't know. Look, the only way that I'm going to be able to validate me buying this is remembering that because obviously I get secondhand yarn, all of this money is going to charity. And like say in the future I do want to buy this yarn for some reason, I would rather buy it now and have it in stock than buy it from like eBay. Tell you what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a trip into town, and if they still have it in stock, I'm gonna buy it. I don't know, I'm just having a rough time trying to validate whether I want to buy this or not, but I feel like I should treat myself. Yeah, I'm gonna go there and just kind of double check the quality of stuff, and if I am happy with it, I am just gonna buy it. Yeah, no, I've convinced myself. Let's go. This is the box that it came in, and I think the box is really cute, so I'm definitely going to keep it. And it comes in this tissue paper, and there are a total of 10 balls. My plan is I'm going to crochet for a little bit and start and just see how much I can get done. So I'm going to find a hook to go with this yarn. I've got till around 8 crochet because I'm picking up my boyfriend from work. So I reckon I can get quite a bit done. I'll update you guys once I've got a bit of progress going. Also, I decided on doing this doily just because I do want to see if I can get a coaster done or two. Plus, I feel like my grandma will really like this one, so let's go. Hi guys, it's 4 at the moment and I'm starting to get a bit tired, so I'm gonna make myself some food. I thought I would take this opportunity to catch you up with how I'm doing. So I've kind of got to a pretty decent part of the doily. Like, don't get me wrong, the first couple of rows definitely tested me quite a lot. There was kind of one part of the pattern that I did find quite confusing, so I did have to redo that. And then even after that, some rows, I don't know, I don't even think it's the way that it's written, I just think it's the way that I read it was kind of like hard to differentiate what it was actually trying to tell me to do. And I've got a few rows of kind of like a repeat row kind of situation, so the next few hours of me doing this doily actually shouldn't be that interesting, but the final row that I do have to do is really gonna test me. I haven't even looked at the pattern yet, but just from looking at the pictures and kind of seeing how it's grown, I can definitely tell that that is gonna work my last straw. So for the moment, I'm gonna get rid of the whole coasters idea. Also, it's Father's Day coming up, so I'm gonna make my dad something. So if I can be asked, I actually might start it today. I'm gonna make him one of my beanies, which I'm pretty sure I've got 2 videos on how I crochet my beanies. So I'm just gonna follow that pattern. I am planning on doing a written pattern for my beanies though, because there's some modifications that I've kind of thought of in between the time that I filmed my last tutorial. So I actually might play around with some of the modifications that I've planned for that, but I will let you guys know. I don't think I'm gonna get much more of the doily done today. I'm also in one of them moods that I don't feel that productive. I don't know, I'm just having one of them days. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'll have this snack and I'll probably do like a tiny bit of work, and then I'm gonna do some Pilates. And I'll kind of check in with you guys after that and see where I'm at and whether I wanna do any more crocheting. Also, I forgot to tell you guys, I think I might just generally have a problem with crocheting doilies, because like the circumference of the doily as I build rows doesn't necessarily match kind of like the width, so it's not like a circle, it has kind of a lot of just extra length in the circumference that it doesn't need. And I'm pretty sure it's because I kind of got used to doing chains kind of slightly loosely just to make it easier to work into the back bump. Also, just with filet crochet, when you have even kind of chain widths to the stitches that you're using, so for me that'd be a double crochet, your work just looks neater. So that is my hypothesis. I might need to start doing my chains tighter, but like, this is the thing, I don't know, maybe it's just a case of it needs the blocking, but we will see. If you guys have any suggestions as to what I can do to fix that, please leave them in the comments below. It's 7:15. I only added a few rows. I'm off to pick up my boyfriend now. I will update you guys later. I currently have 2 days left till this doily needs to be done, and I've worked my way up to the final row of the doily. The rows that I've been working on since I last updated you guys have been quite easy. I did have a moment where I kind of didn't like this doily that much, just because I do feel like this is quite a plain design, and for the amount of work that I've put into it, I was kind of second guessing my choices. But now I've started to add the lace trimming around the edge. I'm really excited to see what this looks like. Don't get me wrong, I mean, this needs a good block before I can really see what it looks like, but it's starting to come together a little bit more. I feel like I always have one moment when I'm making projects where I kind of start to hate it, especially something like this, that it is quite labor intensive. Not only with the amount of stitches that I have to do, but with the amount of attention that I have to pay. Even when I do filet crochet, like, you're kind of just looking at a graph, like, you don't really need to do an awful lot of thinking, but obviously every time I start a new row, I kind of need to think what I'm doing. But despite that, I've actually really enjoyed making this. My goal is to do this last row today, and hopefully I'll be able to block it tonight so it can have all of tomorrow to kind of set in place and dry. I thought I'd let you know I'm still on my first skein. So this yarn is actually going to last me quite some time, because I do want to make like a few things for the flat, but I don't think I'm going to be using 9 balls worth to make this kind of like doily kind of decoration. I am starting to think what I want to use that for. Maybe I'll make some cute like appliques for something, I don't know. I do have a feeling this last row, however, is going to be hellish. I mean, the last row that I did on my doily that I did a few weeks back was bad enough, and that was just picots, which I know how to say it now, guys. Picots, you don't pronounce the T. I don't know why that doesn't click, because I've done ballet, so obviously I understand French pronunciation. Really should have clicked in my head, but here we are. This last row looks more painful than that one, so wish me luck. And then quickly, 2 other things. I haven't started the beanie for my dad for Father's Day, so I definitely need to start that soon. The second thing is I finished the green jumper that I was working on in my last video. I thought I'd quickly show you guys how it's turned out. I mean, I literally just added the arms and seamed it all together, so it doesn't kind of aesthetically look that different. I'm gonna try it on for you guys just so you can get the vibes. This is what it looks like on, and obviously the outfit isn't gonna do it justice. I do really like the baggy fit that this has. I do have other versions of this jumper that fit a little bit more kind of regularly, but I'm in love with this kind of oversized vibe. I do have a version of this that's oversized in black that I love as well. I'm actually thinking I might wear this on Sunday, because we're kind of having kind of like a little buffet thing, but I say buffet, it's kind of just like bits and bobs. And I mean, I'm vegan anyway, so I'm just gonna have like hummus and Rivita and olives and stuff. But that's the plan on Sunday, and that's where I'm gonna give my grandma her birthday present and my dad his Father's Day present. So I'm probably gonna style my jumper for that. Right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and do that final row of the doily and finish it off. Hi everyone, it is Sunday and my doily is finally fully dry and I'm ready to get it off the blocks. But first I thought I'd show you the beanie that I made for my dad. I'm really happy with the modifications that I did. If you look at the top, this is the part of the beanie that I find the hardest part to get flat, and I'm actually really happy with how this version has turned out. I think my dad's gonna enjoy this. I'll show you what it looks like on. This size is more kind of like a fisherman's hat, but obviously if you roll down this part here, you get kind of more of a beanie shape, so I suppose it's kind of like a 2-in-1. So yeah, let me show you what the doily looks like now. It's fully dried and I'm really happy with it. I think it's turned out super cute. My only problem is with some of the stitches kind of like around here and around here, they're not laying fully flat. Again, if you guys have any tips for that, please let me know. So it is off of the blocking board. This cotton has blocked really nicely. Like, I don't know, it feels like it kind of maintains its shape quite easily, which is a problem I had with the other doily where I feel like it wouldn't fully lay flat. So I'm very happy with that. It's blocked out really nicely. As I say, I definitely want to make 1 or 2 more doilies just for this place here. And I am probably going to use that cotton that I got from the charity shop. Maybe actually it's that cotton that has helped it block really nicely. I don't know, I suppose this kind of area of crochet is something that I haven't really been super accustomed to, because I feel like I always work with panels. Like even when it comes to granny squares, I don't really work a lot with granny squares, and obviously doilies are kind of more similar to granny squares in crochet. So it's been quite fun to, I suppose, have to learn something from the start, because I feel like especially in the last like 6 months, I haven't really learned too much new about crochet, and it always feels good to kind of like push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. I'm gonna be giving my presents away to my dad and my grandma in like 2 hours. If I get any clips of that, I will insert that in here. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it interesting or helpful. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and check out all of my other social media. I also sell written patterns on Etsy and Ravelry, which I leave linked in the description below. So go ahead and check those out if you're interested. Please have a good rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.